Everyone, this is Deanna the Organized Miss, and it has been so long since I have been at some sort of craft station. And I do have a little space here in my new place, and somehow I have a camera set up. And I've finally gotten some light, because I have light, but it's like back there over my head. See, you can kind of see. It just wasn't conducive to crafting. So now I have light right here. Anyways, I wanted to come on and film what I'm doing because I am taking this box that, as I'm looking at it now, it doesn't look straight, but I guess it doesn't have to be. I cut it down, pieced it together, and I'm going to use this as the cover for the next junk journal that I'm going to be working on. And I'm actually, I don't know how much of it I'm gonna put on camera, honestly, because I'm doing this as part of art therapy. I'm still processing, grief and trauma and all the things. So my therapist is an art therapy therapist, and which it just worked out. I didn't even know when I went searching for a new therapist until I'm like, you're the person I want to work with. I just know it. And then come to find out she specializes in art therapy. So perfect. So I have some homework. All that to say. My first assignment, my first prompt, if you will, is to create a safe space. And whatever that looks like for me. And, I've had a lot of things that I consider a safe space over the years. But really journaling, this space, here, talking with you, this feels safe to me. Having all of my things here that I can glue and paint and stick and crumble up, whatever. So that is the goal, the purpose of this journal. And I really have no plan. I have no plan. I know this is going to be a long-term project. Each time I get homework, then I will come here and work on it. So my first prompt is creating a safe space. And I just turn the camera on here to make it, because for me, the answer ultimately is this, this right here. This will be my safe space for what we're working on now. And I decided to make it something like this, like cardboard. One, because it's junk, right? It's a junk journal. But if I want to burn this when we're all done, whatever that looks like, I don't know that I'll keep it. I don't know that I won't. But I want to have the option either way. So this was a box that something came in, and I liked what it said, made with less material. And I said, all right, let me find a way to even recycle this less. So I had taken everything except this section of the box to the recycle center, and I've been holding on to this. It has been lugging around in my car with me, and I finally said, that's it, today's the day. So here we are. I have no plans. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I found some packaging paper. I have quite a bit of it. I thought I would use these to create the signatures. And it's a pretty wide spine. It is not quite 3 inches, right? That's okay. Doesn't have to be anything. But as a result, I think I could probably get, at least maybe 3 signatures in there. So my thought is, I'll make the cover. I'm not sure if I want to bind any signatures in yet, or just maybe, wrap them, find a way to put them in temporarily while I'm working on it. Yeah, as I'm saying out loud, that is what I'm going to do. I will not bind them in until some point when I think about it. at some point when I think it's a good time. So next is I pulled out some stuff. I don't know if I want to put this on it. It's just a background paper. I also thought it would make great pages in my signature. Yes, that is what I thought. That's what we'll do. Try not to overthink it, because that is my habit. Just, I want to overthink things. And the whole point of this, whoops, I'm about to lose this. The whole point of doing therapy is to, you know, let your brain process things. And for me too, like the whole reason I really fell in love with the junk journaling community, besides it was the first thing I learned about, I was looking at my memories back, journaling and planning, is that I can just craft. I can let my mind do whatever it wants to do. And it is really therapeutic for me. I'm thinking, as I'm doing this, yeah, look at that. I can just, let's do that. Cut it right down the middle. It is time to get some new, what do you call these? Background papers. Okay, let's just, and I've decided it doesn't have to be, you know, perfect. I'm not going for something that has a specific aesthetic. I don't think, I don't know. I mean, that's just my first thoughts here. Right now, I'm just getting them together. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll cut them down and tear them down as we go, but this roughly fit in there. So like I was saying, I really, I'd say the first year of just getting my memories back and just working on my anxiety and going in public, I really didn't do a lot of it. It was mostly spent here on YouTube, watching videos, connecting with people online, because it was still too anxiety producing for me to even really be out in public, and even to make videos in the beginning. I had so much anxiety just talking on camera, you know, that I think I want that to go on the front. That's just how it tore, but you know what? I thought it looked kind of cool. I was also thinking about maybe layering the pages. Anyway, maybe like Franken papers. Yes, that is what I'll do. That is what I'll do. Now, I had gotten this out. I think I was using it for something, but I no longer remember. But it too will make a great page. You know, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, that looks kind of cool, doesn't it? Maybe I could glue those together or something. I don't know. Let's find another page where we could do that. All right. What I might do is just, you know, speed some of this up and put music over it, because, you know, sometimes I forget to talk while I'm doing this. Okay, this looks pretty good. All right, I have some more pages that I just, you know, I get it out of the box. I straighten it all out. And then I fold it up, you know, to be able to be used. And really, this is like, you know, where it's perforated at. Where's the end? Okay. Oh, there we go. You know, it's perforated right here, so this feels like a good place to tear it, right? think it will be a little big. And that's okay. It is okay. We'll just cut it down, right? We'll just tear it. We'll just something. It's pretty good right there. I do have a score thing, but I need to find one of my mats to go under here because I don't want to cut on my countertop. And honestly, I probably need something more covering. Because I can see I've already gotten some, I don't know if that's glue or Mod Podge or gesso or paint. I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to deal with that later. I can't obsess about paint on my craft table, right? But I can feel myself wanting to. So let me look for that and I'll be right back. Yeah, definitely a little too tall, but we'll work on that. So that feels like, you know, if I keep making this batter, I could make it, let's just tear that off. Okay, there we go. What I'm thinking is maybe, I don't know if you can see what I was looking at there. Maybe I only put 2 signatures and just make them kind of thicker, you know. I don't know. Once I fill them up, I feel like they're going to get kind of full. All right. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we can do 10 to 15 of them even. Anywhere from 10 to 15. I think that probably is good. Now that we kind of figured that out, now let's figure out our cover. See, it's not really straight, is it? I guess I need to not worry about that. I need to think about this for a minute. I pulled out my Ivy to take some pictures of some things that I thought went well with the prompt. I don't know if you can see that. This is a book page in a book I have somewhere. But it said a visit to Grandma's. And I had taken this picture a long time ago. And I thought, I'm going to use that in junk journaling. You know, I thought I'd print it out in a digital kit. But I printed the picture out just so I'd have it. And then this is a picture of my... Ooh, this is a picture of one of my grandmas, my sweet grandma, that I would go to a lot of weekends. And we're sitting at her coffee bar. And I remember when I took this photo, and I thought I was being so artsy. I would totally change the composition today, but we used to sit here and drink coffee, and I grew up at that counter. And then this is my other grandma, who just passed away almost 2 years ago now. And the beach at her house where we go. Favorite places there. And then me as a little one. I don't know, totally little. I think I must have been in 3rd grade here and 4th grade here, maybe. My soccer. But I printed these out and then I started looking at them, realizing the colors are not all that different. Oh, the glare on there. This is kind of a tealish blue. That's black and white, but as you can see, my colors. So I took my lead from that and I went and pulled out some papers, and I thought I'd try to figure out what I would use. This was just one that I had made as a sample for my junk journal class that I'm teaching. But I think I'm gonna, you know, gesso it and use it for something. And then I pulled out some scraps that I have and some other papers. And I thought, you know, I think these colors would go well with it. So I went and dug out these yellow orange colors and then some kind of neutrally transition colors, and I've got a couple of mixtures in them, don't they? And then I found some with this rust and teal, kind of tie everything together. What else do I have under here? More of that kind of tealy, and I don't know what that is. Blue, barnwood, something painted. So these, I think, are the colors. Not I think. I decided to go with this as my something. These are my inspiration photos, so I printed them out. I don't know if that I'll put them in the book. Maybe I will at some point. But there they are. So this is what I'm going to figure out how to make my cover. Oh, and this little T tab, it says your inner guide, your inner self is your inner guide. So that also is going to be my inspiration. So somehow I really don't have a lot of space here. This, you're seeing it. Everything else is kind of like piling up. Yeah, I didn't think that would be big enough. I wonder if I could use it on the inside. If I cut it like, if it would be big enough. Let's measure it. Yeah, it's 6. Yeah, so I could do on this side and this side and leave that open, right? Because they're only 6 inches. Yeah, that's what I can do. Okay, so I definitely want to Mod Podge, gesso, paint, something. So that is what I'm going to do. I don't know where all my paintbrushes are. I've got this little bitty one and this foam one. So that's what we're going to use here. We're going to let that dry and then we'll come back. If you saw my earlier haul video, I got this 1909 ledger book. No, 1909. It's huge. I mean, as you can see, here's my hand. So I just went about gently taking these pages out from the back very delicately. Still have the whole book full of them. And as I was taking the pages out, I just reminded myself, I didn't buy this book just to sit there. I bought it to use it. So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna find a way to use it. What I started to do was Franken page these together. So, no, that's not very, here. I used this, what is this stuff called? Parchment paper. And I just glued it, you know, I ripped, well, this was already ripped, but I ripped that. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do that with some of these other pages in here. And Franken page them. I can't remember which way the page is supposed to go. So we're just going to figure it out here on camera together. All right, so this way. And this one, okay, we'll do that in a minute. So if we make this be the center, and I could also make this be the center. I was thinking about using this berry more. I just feel like I need to have it all right. Okay. All right. Again, I don't need to be precious with this. I want to go like that, go like that. All right, let's just do it this way. You know what I should have done is just get a basic sheet of copy paper so I could have like a template for what size I want to make these. Okay, what do we have here? What is this size? Let's see, we have so it needs to be 12. So I think that's good. Okay, and this needs to be 6.5. Is that what we decided this was about? Okay. Oh. Up there. Now this might be when it's a good time to have my thing, but there we are, made the first cut. All right, let's do another one. Okay, so these don't have to be I don't know what I'm doing. I was just trying to count them. They don't have to be right. Because what do I have there? I have about 6, and I have less than 6. So maybe I'll make it about here. Okay. This is pretty sturdy paper. Of course, I do have, I thought I had 2 in here. Oh no, this is only 1 sheet. Okay, so if we fold it like that, let's just use the center. Or, so this is where I'm doing the math. I'm trying to decide, do we use a whole page and then we use these as half pages somewhere? Yes, I think maybe so. I'll have some. I check, that's a weird shape. Yeah, I guess that'll fit. They're just shorter. That's okay. We can add to them that way, right? Okay, let's do that. Let's use this. All right. How tall does it need to be? Again, you know, if I were smart, I would just draw it out on there and then fit the papers in there. But here we are. So maybe I could use like half of it. I know we still have to glue it on. You know what? Let's just do that. Let's just glue it and we can trim it from there, right? So we need another piece. I think this paper is just too thin maybe, but let's just go ahead and do it. All right, we'll just, if we have to reinforce it with something, then we will. All right, likely we will. I don't know what we decided that was. About there. Close enough. I would tear it, but I don't think this paper down here tears. Yeah, it's going to tear on its own quite literally. All right. Yeah, I don't know how well this is going to be, but that's all right. We'll just use another piece behind it. Yeah. Give it a little more stability. This is a junk journal after all, right? We can do whatever we want. There are no rules. There. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. Franken pages all around, right? Like that. And I've seen a couple people do this. I couldn't tell you who started it. I have no idea. But who I've seen do it is Steph on Hilltop View Journal. I think the first person I ever saw might have been Gail Augustinelli, and then Meg. I'm sure there's a lot others, but these are who's coming to mind. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to keep doing these off camera and then I'll come back. It's been a couple of hours and a large mess later, but I do have 2 signatures. I decided to do 2 instead of 3 because I think once they fill out, you know, I think 2 is going to be plenty. Still haven't done that, but I did kind of Franken paper things together. Some, like I left this, some of them just, you know, I didn't Frankenstein them, whatever. And then some I did, and I've gone through and kind of stamped and threw out various places, especially where it's white. I need to do some more of that. I was going to count and see how many I have. So I did that, and then tomorrow what I'm going to do is sew them, because I'm about crafted out just for the night. Can't believe I said that out loud, but just for this evening, and then tomorrow I'll get back at it. But I'm pretty pleased so far. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12. For some reason I thought I had 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, if I have 15 and 12, let's see, 13, 14, so, oh, I guess they don't have to be even, do they? They don't have to be even. They don't have to be even. They don't have to be perfect. This is a junk journal, Deanna. You're making it with literal junk or scraps or whatever. So, okay, I'll be back in the morning. I always get started and I forget to turn this on, but I'm using gesso here. Yeah, just some basic gesso to cover this, and then I'm gonna put the packaging paper on top to give it kind of a crinkly texture. So I'm not smoothing it out on purpose because I want this crinkly texture. And so I just, after I covered the cardboard completely in gesso, then I just laid it on there, cut it out. I'll cut the edges out here to fold it over in a minute, but I kind of wanted to set up with this kind of, you know, texture. I'm just kind of helping it not be smooth. Oh, this needs to dry now, but I got it glued down, and I'm gonna use this, I just used an insert. I made this as an example for my junk journal class I was teaching at the library. And so I thought, you know what, this is going to make great for the end papers here. And then I'll have some left over that I can, you know, make ephemera or something out of. So I was thinking, since I have the 2 sunflowers here, that I would use that there to be that piece. And I'm going to use this one here, and that's going to work out perfectly. But that means I'm going to have to measure it and cut it, which maybe you noticed, I'm an eyeballer. All right, so now I need to decide what I'm going to put right here. And I'm just not sure. I mean, I do have, I mean, I could use some tape, but also I'm maybe going to do a hidden spine with my signatures, I think, maybe. So, do I want to glue this down just yet? I don't think so, because I can put my hidden spine here, and then I can glue over that. Is that what I want to do? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't know. I'm going to have a think about this. As Stephanie from Hilltop View Journal says, let me have a think. I decided to go ahead and stitch around these and then do a little bit of, I don't know, crazy stitching or whatever they call that on these, but also on the pages. And for me, sewing paper just can be so meditative, relaxing, lets my brain just unplug for a little bit. So I did that. I went ahead and stitched all of my pages for my signatures, and I actually ended up with 3 signatures because by the time they got all stitched and organized and sorted and put together, I realized that they're pretty thick. I still don't know if I'm going to put all 3 in the book or just use 2 and have the other one. I don't know. We're just going to wing it as we go, but thanks for joining me on this journey, and I'll be back with the next one.